Brandon Rios has announced his retirement from the sport of boxing following his ninth round TKO loss to WBO welterweight champion Tim Bradley. He made the announcement in a post-fight interview and reiterated it in the post-fight press conference. Now, this may be a hasty, emotional decision by Brandon Rios. Possibly, I don't know. We'll see. Because we've seen many times in the past, fighters following a loss, immediately following a loss, they're upset and they come out with something which they later regret, i.e. retirement. A couple months down the line, they say, oh, I'm not really retired, I'm coming back again. This happens all the time. So assuming that Brandon Rios isn't doing that, then I fully support his retirement. If he's made enough money to retire on and his family's future is secure and his future is secure, then why not retire? This is the same thing I was saying about Marcus McDonough the other day. As a selfish boxing fan, of course, I like to see fighters prolong their careers and fight this guy, fight that guy, and what have you. For example, if Tim Bradley retired tomorrow, hell yeah, I'd be disappointed. But would I be mad at Tim Bradley? No. Because there's far more important things in life than boxing. Tim Bradley has made a lot of money. He secured his future. If he wanted to walk away from the sport now, I couldn't hate on that. How the hell could I hate on that? As a selfish fan, yeah, I'd like to see him fight Brook and Furman and Porter and all these guys, but on just on a grown-up adult level, good. I'll pat him on his back and say, good for you making all that money and having a great career that you have had and walking away from the sport. So I'm never one of these kind of people that gets angry and criticizes fighters too harshly for walking away. Because this is a sport that can take a lot out of you and it can leave you damaged. So just in general, this is not just about Brandon Rios retiring. This is just about fighters retiring in general. Now, a lot of fighters continue fighting because of money. A lot of fighters who have made a lot of money have got tax problems with managers who have ripped them off, this, that, and the other. And to those fighters, I can't really say anything. But for fighters who have secured their futures and their finances are in order, there's really nothing more to fight for other than if you're fighting for ego. And I guess some fighters do get caught up in that ego trap. There's always someone else to fight. You know, I remember there was a documentary, and you can watch it on YouTube. I think it is on YouTube. But there was a documentary which I actually taped on VHS way back in the days. It was shortly after Lennox Lewis beat Razor Ruddock and he was awarded the WBC heavyweight title after Riddick Bowe threw it in the bin. And this documentary had a lot of behind the scenes footage of Lennox Lewis. I think it was either leading up to the Tucker fight. I think it was leading up to the Tucker fight. If not, then it was leading up to the Bruno fight. But anyway, in this documentary, Lewis was talking about why so many great fighters come back again and again and again, and they don't know when to walk away from the sport, or fighters in general. And he said that his original plan, and remember, this is when Lewis was still undefeated. So we're talking about early mid-90s. And in this documentary, Lewis said his plan is to win the undisputed heavyweight championship, defend it once, and then retire. That was what his plan was. In fact, I think it was Frank Maloney who was talking about that in this documentary. So that was his plan. It didn't quite work out like that, obviously. It was a much more rocky road than that. But his plan was that. And he explains in the documentary the reason that he wants that kind of plan where he wins the undisputed title, defend it once, then retire, is because he don't want to get caught up in the trap that so many fighters get caught up in, where it's a catch-22 situation where their egos are never satisfied because there's always a new challenge on the horizon in boxing. At some point in time, you're either going to get yourself beat and knocked out and knocked off the top, or you can put your foot down and say, yes, I know there are other challenges out there. I know there are these guys calling me out, but I'm going to retire now. And that's how you have to do it. You're either going to retire at the top or you're going to carry on long enough until someone's actually going to beat you. And when you make that decision to retire at the top, yeah, there are going to be people who say, you ducked me, you didn't fight me, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. But it's better to do that than carry on and get yourself damaged, carry on, get yourself beat, etc., etc. So there are many fighters, as we know. Floyd Mayweather recently retired. Back in the days, Joe Calzaghe retired at the top. And, you know, many fighters have done the same thing. Marvin Hagler, when he lost to Sugar Ray Leonard, very hotly disputed decision, but still he decided to turn his back on boxing from there on. He said he did it out of disgust, but I'm not really sure it was as simple as that. He'd made lots of money from boxing. He'd achieved so much. He'd been undisputed champion for so long, and he came up the hard way. Him retiring, you can't be mad. So yeah, I'm pro retirement when it comes to fighters. Once you've secured your future, you don't owe boxing nothing. Go and retire and do your thing. You know, so if that's Brandon Rios' genuine decision, then best of luck to him. You know, it wasn't a great fighter, but so what? Life's way bigger than that. There are so many more important things to be in life than being a great fighter. So any of you fighters out there who are getting down on yourselves or this, that, and the other after you retired, no reason for that. Yeah, go be a great husband. Go be a great parent. Go be a great friend. Go be a great, you know, son or whatever, or daughter. Go do that. There's so many more important things you can be in life. So drop your comments below, people. Let me know what you feel about Brandon Rios' retirement. Do you think it's a genuine retirement? And let me know what you think about retirement from the sport of boxing in general. Are you one of those kind of people who gets mad at certain fighters for retiring? Or are you one of those kind of people like me who say, you know what? Yes, I'd like to see you fight certain fights, but just as another human being, I can't hate on your decision because you've secured your family's future and you're walking away with your faculties intact. More power to you. Drop your comments below. It's your boy Hatman. I'm out.